Hello, I'm Fame Harper, and this is a little demo of dyeing a gourd. I'm making what's called a rainstick, which is a musical instrument, and I grew this long snake gourd in my garden. And then it dried for a year, and so it's been a long process. But if you want a gourd right away, there's gourd farms that you can go visit, or some of them do mail orders, so you can order your gourd through the mail. Anyways, already I've cleaned the gourd, cut part of it off, hollowed it out. It has like a fibrous tissue on the inside with seeds, so pulled all that out, and then I drilled holes, glued in skewers, barbecue skewers, bamboo skewers, and then I cut off the excess and sanded it. So that's where I started this thing, and then you can see the dyeing process right now.
I traveled from one end to the other, all across this sun-drenched land. Been through airports.
Hey there, I'm making a rainstick out of this big giant snake gourd. And I already put the skewers inside there and sanded everything, and I'm going to dye it with leather dyes, and I wanted you to be able to watch how I did that. First I'm putting red on. This is just a makeup sponge. And then I'm going to use a color called Cordovan. This is the Cordovan, which is sort of a more burgundy, brownish red. I'm just going to mix those two together. So hopefully you can see this. I can't hold the camera and dye at the same time, so I'm doing the best I can. Now you can see I've dyed the whole gourd. And what I'm going to do next is put rubbing alcohol splashes on there to make the dye blend. And that's the fun part, so be right back. I also dyed the lid. This part will be attached to that part, and then I will put a decorative band around it to cover the seam. So there's my gourd all dyed. Now I'm going to take this alcohol and just dribble that on there. Now watch. You can also do it with a toothbrush. And that starts to break down the dye, and it gets some cool dripping patterns on it. Don't forget to wear your latex gloves when you're going to do this. This is what the inside looks like right now, where I've glued in all the skewers. And I found what works best for me is small dried beans. I used northern white beans, and when this is done drying, I just dyed it, but when it's done drying I'll put the beans inside, and that's what's going to make the sound. As I go like this and turn it upside down, the beans will hit these little sticks, and that's what makes the music part. Okay. After this dries, probably overnight, I'm going to spray it with a clear acrylic spray to make it more weatherproof, and so that if it gets wet the dye won't go anywhere. But I found that if you don't let them dry overnight, the dye comes off on your fingers. I see I've knocked this one, just this one stick loose, using it like a handle. When I dyed it I was holding on to that, so I just took a little glue and I glued that back in. Once this is sealed shut, those won't get touched so much. So after this is sprayed, I'm going to glue right around here.
Your hand. I was lonely, ever lonely. I thought I heard you walking.